Hey guys, welcome to my channel. As we agreed on Instagram, I'm doing this video about 50 common phrases in business English. And business English is something that I do every single day, writing emails, talking on the phone, and meeting investors. So if you're interested in sounding like a pro when you write a business email, or continue watching this video.
Back to San Francisco.
Our minds may change.
Phrase number one. When I was traveling to the UK and staying with my local host family, I asked them what is the best way to reach out to a university in the UK when I am writing an email to info@something.co.uk. Like, how do I greet a person on that end if I don't know their name? And they told me to whom it may concern. And this is the phrase that you should use if you're writing a formal email to somebody you don't know, and you don't know the name, you don't know who's supposed to get back to you. You just write to whom it may concern. When you're sending a file in an email, you can use a phrase, please find attached. Please find our Series A deck attached to this email. When you have been emailing somebody for a pretty long time, like maybe a month or two, when this is an established partner, you can start using acronyms, and I use a lot of them. For example, FYI, for your information. For instance, you have this email and you wanted to add something and you're like, FYI, I'll be in London the next week, maybe we should meet for a coffee. So this is like an addition to your email. If there is something urgent, I would encourage every single employee at LinguaTrip always to put ASAP in the subject of an email, so that a person who's checking their emails would see that there is an urgent email that requires a very urgent answer. ASAP, as soon as possible. The next, very important, there is actually a difference between the CV and resume. CV is longer, it's 3 to 4 pages. It goes in depth about your success, about your achievements, about your work experience, but a resume is normally a one-pager document. Actually, when you apply for Stanford's MBA, they tell that for every 10 years of work experience, you should have only one page on your resume. So it's very important to concentrate on your best achievements because you don't have a lot of space.
Achieve greatness.
CV is a longer one, resume is a shorter one. When I just started reaching out to Silicon Valley investors, I wrote my first email to an investor and then showed it to a guy who introduced us to 500 startups. And he was like, Marina, you don't know how it works. It works in a completely different way. So introductions are very common in Silicon Valley. For example, you meet a founder and then he introduces you to the investor. And the first thing you should write in the email when somebody introduces you, you thank the person who introduced, thank you for the intro, and then you move him to BCC. So the phrase is moving you to BCC to save your inbox. This means he would no longer be part of this conversation because you want to save his time. Everybody's busy. Another phrase that you can use is I'm CCing somebody in this email, I'm copying somebody so he can join and discuss the subject. For example, I'm CCing Dmitry here because he does all of our financials and he's going to be able to help you with this question. Team building is an activity or a game that is used to put everybody in the company together to build closer relationships. When you want to work with somebody, this is called collaboration. Do not mix it up with cooperation, because when you cooperate with somebody, it's used in when you talk to police, like when you're in some incident, they ask you to cooperate, means to answer their questions, to provide all the necessary information. But when you want to work with somebody, it's collaborate. Let's collaborate on the subject. Let's collab, let's shoot a video together. Start from scratch. When somebody asks you, for example, to create a deck, and a deck is like a PowerPoint presentation about your company, and you've never done that before, you're starting from scratch, you're starting from the very beginning. Another expression is 9 to 5 job. That means that you're working in the office, you go there every day. It can be from 10 to 7, it can be from 10 to 8, but the expression that everybody uses is from 9 to 5. I'm working every day from 9 to 5 means you're working in the office. Set deadlines and meet deadlines. When you set a deadline, you have a date when you have to finish the project.
Deadline? What are you talking about?
When you meet a deadline, that means that you are on the schedule. To give the green light means to give the approval to approve the project. I was given a green light to carry out this project. I was allowed to do that. To be behind the schedule is, remember about the deadlines I've mentioned before, to be behind the schedule is to actually not being able to meet the deadlines, and be ahead of the schedule is actually to be faster than you've originally planned. Elevator pitch, really important thing. You have to learn to do that. I've learned to do that, and this is a tough thing. This is a pitch of your company that lasts for like 15 to 20 seconds.
The elevator!
If you're riding in an elevator with an investor, you only have this short period of time when you can present to your company and you have to explain what it does. Elevator pitch. To catch up, imagine that you've been away from work and now you're back and you have to go through all of the tasks and make sure you're on your way to meet all the deadlines. Stay on budget means to spend as much money as you've originally planned. Go over budget means to spend a lot of money and you haven't planned to spend that much. Sign off on something. I need my boss to sign off on this project means I need my boss's approval. I need his signature or a verbal yes to continue doing something. To be ahead of the curve means to plan far in advance, far ahead, and to foresee the problems that might arise in the long term. To be ahead of the curve. Every entrepreneur should be ahead of the curve. A ballpark figure is a rough estimate. For example, you have a meeting with an investor about investing in your company and you have to come up with the valuation, but because this is the first meeting, you can only give a ballpark figure like from 30 to $50 million, and then you will go into details and more detailed valuation. But right now it's just a ballpark figure. To kick off means to start. Let's kick off this meeting. Let's start this meeting. White collar.
White collar, college grad.
White collar is an employee who works for a corporation, wears white shirt and has white collar, but he doesn't have to wear that. It's just an expression meaning that you're working for a big corporation, big company, working from 9 to 5. To look at the big picture means to look at things in general without focusing on details. Sometimes you have problems in short term, like this is a bad day, this plan failed, but if you look at the big picture, you're on the track, you're doing the right thing, you're gonna reach your goal. To play by the book means to follow the exact rules written in a plan or written in an instruction. To play by the book. To call it a day means you finished work and you're ready to go home. 5 p.m., you stand up, and you say, let's call it a day.
I'm gonna call it a day.
And go home. To corner the market means to dominate the market, means you're the biggest player, you've done everything, you're making a lot of money, you've cornered the market. Apple cornered the market. Get in on the ground floor means to invest in a company at really early stage and then make a lot of money because you invested early. You know how rich are Apple's and Facebook's investors who got in on the ground floor? They are very, very rich. By the way, guys, if you're writing an important email, if you are writing a business email, an email to a potential university, you have to make sure that you don't make any mistakes and that you're using the phrases that I've included in my list. Because I talk to a lot of people and they say they really judge by your English. Like if you're making too many mistakes, they doubt your professionalism. They might not say it straight away, but it's like the first impression is like what you're wearing, your English. So please make sure you're writing good emails. If you need help, Fluent.express is a service where you can upload your email and then a native speaker will correct your email in real time. Because sometimes we make mistakes because we're translating everything from our own language to English and this just doesn't make sense. So Fluent.express is your help and your friend in writing an email or writing an essay. To think outside the box means to think in non-traditional ways, and when you're just starting a company, when you don't have a lot of money, you need to think outside the box. And this is how I started my Russian channel. I was like, I need to get the word out about Language Herb. How do I do that? I started a YouTube channel. To touch base, get in touch with someone. For example, if I'm writing an email to our investors, I will be like, I'm touching base with you. I just wanted to update you on this, and that. Word of mouth is an expression that I've learned when I was studying business English in a language school in the UK, and I think this has been my favorite course because during that course we didn't just learn terms and definitions, we were actually studying topics like
word of mouth.
Word of mouth was a part of our marketing week, and during that marketing week we learned a lot about marketing. We learned what product placement is, we learned about social media, we learned about word of mouth, and we learned everything through real case studies. We've studied Coca-Cola, Sony, Samsung. So if you really enjoy this video, I think you would enjoy a business English course. The link will be below. Do that, like travel to the UK. My favorite teacher teaches the course that is down below. You'll love it, I guarantee you. A yes man is actually a little negative. Is a person who says yes to everything, especially to the boss, agrees with the boss all the time.
Yes, boss.
Red tape is a term that is used to describe a slow-moving bureaucratic process when you have to register a company, get a bank account, get all the licenses. Red tape. To play hardball means to negotiate in a really aggressive manner and not give up easily. Downsizing is a term used to describe an activity when company is firing a lot of people, and 50 employees were fired during the downsizing. This is an example. To let go means to fire. I was let go from my job means I was fired.
You are fired.
To set one's foot in the door. This is like make the first contact. For example, my Silicon Valley Girl vlog, I want to interview Kevin, who founded Instagram, and they just opened an office right across my house. But I'm not sure he's gonna be interested in doing that right now. So to get my foot in the door, I would reach out to their PR department and let them know there's this girl, I exist, and I would be interested in interviewing your founder. So get my foot in the door. To be on the same page means to agree. We're on the same page about this marketing strategy means I agree with my colleague about the marketing strategy. To drop the ball is a bad thing. I dropped the ball. I cannot continue this project. It's too hard for me. To be in the black is a good thing because on the books, when you're doing calculating your profit, if you're in the black means all the numbers are black, you're making money. To be in the red is a bad thing because when you're in the red means you lose money, and this is not a good thing. My hands are tied.
My hands are tied.
You can use this expression when you have to deny something or refuse something, like somebody comes up with an offer, you say, my hands are tied because my boss doesn't allow that. So this is not your decision, this is something that comes from somebody who manages you. My hands are tied, I'm sorry. Staff shakeup is a period in company's life when they fire a lot of people and when they hire a lot of new ones. Probably a new manager came in, he has a new strategy. Staff shakeup. Outsourcing means when you don't want to hire somebody, but you want to make a contract with a company to do something particular, like outsourcing the design. You can hire a designing company that will help you with the design outsourcing. Target demographic are people who are going to use your product. You have to think about it all the time. Think about your end user, and this is another word. This is the actual guy who's going to use the product, or a girl, and you have to think about their problems. End user / target demographic. Mission statement is a slide on your deck, actually, but it's actually what you created the company for, what is the goal of the company, and you would always include it in your investor meetings. They would always ask, what is the mission, or why have you started the company, what drives you? ROI is a common expression, returns on investment. What would investors get if they invest? From the ground up means from scratch. I built this company, I built LinguaTrip from the ground up. Means I built the company from the very beginning.
Let's start from the ground up.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Business English is my passion. Business English is my everyday life. I can make hundreds of videos about business English. It's really important for me to know if you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below what you use business English for, whether it's communicating with your partners or reaching out to universities, or maybe writing your own articles, like what exactly do you need from business English? I will use your comments to create a new video. And if this content was useful for you, please like it, because I don't see you right now. I only see my camera, but I want to see your reaction. I really want to know if that's important, if this topic is useful. So like this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, there is a red button below. Click it. and you'll see my new videos. Don't miss them. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.